Have you ever noticed that the men who dominate a room aren't the ones yelling the loudest? They're not the wannabe comedians cracking endless jokes. They're not the tryhards bragging about their job, their car, or their latest business idea. No, the men people actually remember, the ones who make heads turn, are the quiet ones, the ones who barely speak, but somehow control the atmosphere without lifting a finger. I had to learn this the embarrassing way. Picture me, 2 years ago, at a party. I was in full performance mode, telling jokes, hyping up stories, trying to entertain this woman I'd just met. I thought I was killing it. Meanwhile, across the room, some guy leaned against the wall, barely said 10 words all night. Guess who she left with? Yeah, it wasn't me. That moment shattered everything I thought I knew about attraction. And here's what I realized. The Stoics had already figured this out centuries ago. Power doesn't shout. Power doesn't beg to be noticed. Power whispers, and the world leans closer to hear it. Welcome to Stoicism Mastermind. To our legendary subscribers, you're the reason this community thrives. Thank you for walking this path with us. May you and your loved ones stay safe, strong, and fearless wherever life takes you. If you're new here, hit like, smash subscribe, and share. Because this isn't just a channel. It's a brotherhood, one family, one mindset. A community built on timeless Stoic wisdom, the kind schools never bothered to teach you. Why? So men like you can sharpen your minds, master yourselves, and become unstoppable. Now let's break down the 5 Stoic codes of magnetic presence. Why the most attractive men don't talk much, and why what they do instead changes everything. Code 1. Silence is a weapon. Most guys can't handle silence. They treat it like dead air on a bad radio show. The moment things go quiet, they panic and rush to fill the space with nonsense, bad jokes, half-baked stories, or nervous filler words like, you know what I mean. But magnetic men, they flip the script. They know silence isn't awkward. It's power. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wasn't remembered for endless speeches. He chose his words like a surgeon chooses his tools, precisely, carefully, and only when necessary. When Marcus spoke, people leaned in. Not because he talked a lot, but because he talked rarely, and his silence gave his words gravity. Fast forward centuries later to Steve Jobs. In meetings, Jobs would often sit silently, watching, calculating. People got nervous. Was he impressed? Was he about to rip the project apart? That tension made his eventual words hit like a hammer. When he finally spoke, the room froze. Silence had built suspense. Here's why silence works. It creates mystery. When you don't reveal everything, people start chasing the puzzle. They want to know what's in your head. It signals confidence. Only weak men need to fill silence with noise. A man who can sit comfortably in the quiet shows he's already in control. It flips the dynamic. Suddenly, you're not the one working to entertain her. She's the one working to get your attention. Think about it. Which man has more power, the one begging to be heard, or the one who can sit calmly, forcing others to lean closer? Exactly. If you want to sharpen this skill, watch focus on yourself. Nobody cares. Part 1. It shows exactly why pulling back your energy makes others lean in. But silence alone isn't enough. Because if silence is your sword, then your body. That's the armor. And the second code will show you how to wear it. Code 2. Presence speaks louder than words. Your body talks before you do. The way you walk into a room, the way you stand, the way you move, all of it tells people whether you're confident or whether you're crumbling inside. Seneca once said, "A man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself he is." Posture works the same way. If you've convinced yourself you're weak, your body broadcasts it to everyone else. Slouched shoulders, darting eyes, jittery movements, they all scream insecurity louder than words ever could. Magnetic men get this. They don't stumble into rooms like they're apologizing for existing. They glide in with calm intention. Their shoulders are back, but not stiff. Their head is steady, their eyes level. They don't fidget, they don't rush. Every movement is deliberate. And that stillness, it makes people take notice. I've seen it in my friend David. Quiet guy, barely speaks in groups, but when he enters a room, people notice. Why? Because his presence does the talking. He doesn't need flashy clothes or loud stories. His energy introduces him before his words ever can. Here's the truth. People feel your presence before they hear your voice. You don't need to brag. You don't need to prove anything. Your body language already wrote the script. For more on this, check out Focus on Yourself. Nobody cares. Part 2. It shows how simply owning your space makes you magnetic without saying a word. But presence isn't just about what you project. It's also about what you absorb. And that's where the next code kicks in. Code 3. Listen like a Stoic. Most men think they're good listeners. They're not. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. They nod politely, but their brain is busy loading up their next cool story or witty comeback. And trust me, women can feel that instantly. Magnetic men flip this. They listen like Stoics. They give their full attention as if every word is a clue to the universe. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." And yet, almost no one does it, which is why the man who actually listens stands out instantly. I learned this by accident. My phone died on a dinner date. No texts, no scrolling, no fake "I'm listening" while glancing at notifications. For the first time in months, I gave someone my full attention, and the difference was insane. She leaned in more, laughed harder, opened up faster. At the end, she said, "I've never felt so heard." And all I did was shut up and listen. Real listening is rare because it requires 3 things most men never practice. Attention. No distractions. No wandering eyes. No planning your response. Emotional radar. You're not just hearing words. You're noticing tone, energy, the emotion underneath. Smart follow-ups. Instead of jumping to your story, you ask about theirs. You dig deeper. You connect dots. In a world addicted to distraction, listening has become a superpower, and people are drawn to it like moths to flame. Want to stack this power even higher? Watch Never Defend Yourself. How to Become Dangerously Confident. It shows why silence plus focus earns more respect than any clever defense. But here's the thing. Listening alone won't save you. Stoics didn't just listen, they acted. And that's the next code. Code 4. Actions over words. Every man loves to talk about what he would do. I'm loyal, I'm ambitious, I'm disciplined, but words are cheap. Stoics knew this. They taught that character isn't declared, it's demonstrated. Marcus Aurelius didn't boast about discipline. He practiced it daily, in private, even when no one was watching. Seneca didn't announce virtue. He lived it in his choices. The Stoic way is clear. Don't say, show. Magnetic men follow this. They don't waste time proving themselves with speeches. They let their consistency do the talking. They don't say they're reliable. They show up, on time, every time. They don't brag about goals. They grind until their results are undeniable. They don't preach their values. They embody them so clearly that no one has to ask. Here's the truth. In a world where everyone talks, the man who acts becomes unforgettable. For a deeper hit on this, revisit Focus on Yourself. Nobody cares. Part 1. It'll remind you why seeking validation kills discipline and why action is the only real proof. And that brings us to the final piece, the secret weapon that flips the game and makes people crave your attention. Code 5. Questions that expose the soul. Most men stick to surface-level conversation. Where are you from? What do you do? Boring. Forgettable. Dead on arrival. Magnetic men. They ask questions that dig deeper, questions that pull people out of autopilot and force them to actually think. Instead of, what do you do? They'll ask, what's the most exciting thing you've worked on lately? Instead of, where are you from? They'll ask, what's something about your hometown nobody else knows? These kinds of questions reveal values, passions, and character. And when someone feels truly seen, they lean closer. One woman told me about a guy she described as magnetic. He barely spoke about himself. Yet by the end of the night, he knew her better than some of her closest friends, and she couldn't stop thinking about him. Why? Because curiosity is rare, and rare is unforgettable. That's the Stoic way. Don't try to be interesting. Be interested. And if you want to strengthen this mindset further, watch Never Defend Yourself. How to become dangerously confident. It's the natural next step after this code. And there you have it, the 5 Stoic codes of magnetic presence. Silence as a weapon, presence that speaks first. Stoic listening, actions as proof. Soul-revealing questions. The less you talk, the more powerful you become. Welcome back to Stoicism Mastermind. To our legendary subscribers, you are the backbone of this community. If you're new, smash that like, hit subscribe, and share. Because here, we're not just a channel. We're a brotherhood, one family, one mindset. Together, we sharpen our minds, master ourselves, and rise unstoppable. And before you go, hit the end screen video, How Stoicism Teaches You to Defeat Fear. If this video lit a fire in you, that one will forge steel. See you in the next one, brothers.